Hey guys, it's Red, and welcome back to another episode of Building with Red. This episode is kind of a different one because this time I'm actually taking footage that I took from a time-lapse on my latest Terraria Mage episode because I was really proud of this build, so I didn't really think like just one time-lapse would do it justice. So I kind of wanted to make a building tutorial type thing. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. So let's get started with the tutorial. Now the first step to actually making the ship is to make the outline of the whole thing. And with this I'm using brown painted rich mahogany wood. And I actually really like the way rich mahogany brown painted looks. Sometimes it kind of looks a little ugly if you have a double stack of it going vertically, but that doesn't really bother me too much. And basically the most difficult part of making the ship look good is to make it so the whole shape of the ship flows together. So you don't want it to be super bumpy, but you want it to look nice and smooth. So you'll have like that little dip into the water, and normally I believe ships have more of a dip in the water than what I built, but I think it's kind of just like an artistic decision to make it look the way I made it look. Now the next thing I did was kind of just work on the first few rooms of the ship, starting with the back room and the little lounge room. With this, with this whole build, I kind of just went willy-nilly on the different aspects of it. So I kind of started outlining the ship's rooms, and then I just went ahead and started making the first room in the ship in its entirety. And I actually really like the first room. I think it looks nice. I used actuated rich mahogany to make a little window seal, and I used glass. And then for the beams and planks, I used shade wood and rich mahogany painted brown for beams, and then I filled it in with living and normal wood walls, and I actually really like the way that turned out. And then the next thing that I did was kind of do the same thing inside the whole main hallway of the ship, which has the treasure room and kind of a lounge room. And on top of the hallway, I actually used silver chandeliers as lighting, because I actually really like the way the silver chandeliers look when they're all lined up together. I think that looks really nice. Another thing that I actually didn't know until very recently was that you can actually place down different types of coins to make little coin piles, and that's something I used in the treasure room. One thing that I actually thought looked really nice was the 3x3 windows that I made in the ship. I used the wooden beams, palm platform, and glass, and I think that looks really nice. It's basically just using the palm platform and the wooden beams as a outline for the window, but as you can see, it looks pretty cool. After adding a ton of weapon racks, I decided to kind of round out the tip of the ship, because I thought that would look a lot nicer than having just a bunch of empty space in the tip of the ship, because you can't really work with anything in it, because it just gets smaller and smaller as it goes up. So it'd be awkward to make a roof and just a floor in general. It'd just be awkward to use it for anything. The next thing that I do is use shadewood fence to add a little bit of a guardrail over the whole ship, because you wouldn't really want your pirate crew to be falling off the ship, because even though you get probably more money from all the loot, there wouldn't be anybody to help you man the ship, which is not good. One of the final big things I do before just tiny decorations was make the captain's quarters, which is obviously on the top of the ship, right over the first room we made. And I made a little bit of a window similar to the one on the bottom part of the ship, where the captain could look out. And I added another window and just some chairs for him to plan his plots to steal everybody's stuff. After making the captain's quarters, I started with all the sails in the ship, and I actually really like the way the sails turned out. I think I made 3 or 4 sails using shadewood and rich mahogany, similar to the support beams inside the ship, and then I used sail walls to make the sails. And I actually really like the way this turned out, even though that it was kind of hard to see in the recording because of all the red light from the blood moon. Finally, I add a couple more decorations and drain out the bottom of the ship, and that was pretty much the end of our pirate ship build. I really enjoyed making this. It's one of my favorite builds I've ever made, and I hope you guys liked it too. If you did like it, you can leave a like or leave a comment telling me how I can improve these videos or just building my buildings in general. And subscribe if you're new around here, because I make a lot of different types of videos, but this is one of my favorite series to make, so that's something to think about. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.